On the evening of March 19th, 2026, a young woman stepped out for what should have been a normal work-related movement. She was not going to a party. She was not going to cause trouble. She was simply handling business. But before the night could end, that same woman would be left lying on the ground, shot 6 times. Not once, not twice, but 6 separate gunshots. And for many people, that number alone says one thing. This was not random. This was not a mistake. This looked like a planned assassination. The woman was identified as Mina Orukpabo, a beautiful, hardworking and cheerful event planner in Port Harcourt, Nigeria. People who knew her said she was full of life. They said she was serious with her work. They said she had built a name for herself in the event industry. So the question now is, who wanted Mina Orukpabo dead? And more importantly, what could she possibly have done to make someone decide that 6 bullets were necessary? Tonight, we look closely at the shocking killing of a woman many people described as peaceful, ambitious, and loved by those around her. Mina was not just another face in Port Harcourt. According to reports, she was a known event planner and the CEO of an event service company called Special Byzantine Usher, also known by some as Special B Usher, based in Port Harcourt. That was where she operated. That was where she built a name. And from what sources say, Mina was not the kind of woman people ignored. She was known in her field. She had many girls working under her, and those who knew the company said most of them genuinely loved and respected her as their boss. People described her as hardworking, jovial, beautiful, focused, and someone who knew how to turn ordinary events into something special. According to sources, there was almost no event Mina could not organize and beautify. Whether it was wedding, a birthday, a corporate event, or a social gathering, her name reportedly carried weight. She was said to have a creative eye, leadership presence, and a strong business spirit. At the time of this report, her exact age had not yet been officially revealed. But one thing is already clear. Mina was a woman who was building something, and in a city where success can bring both admiration and envy, sometimes the wrong eyes begin to watch. Then came Thursday, March 19, 2026, a date that would change everything. It was around 7:45 p.m. Evening had already settled in. The roads were no longer as busy as they were earlier in the day, but movement was still going on across the city. Mina Orukpabo was reportedly walking along Total Gospel Road off Peter Odili Road in Port Harcourt, and according to what sources said, she was believed to be on a work-related mission. Some reports suggest she may have been heading to an event center, possibly to rent equipment or perhaps to collect borrowed instruments she needed for an upcoming event job her company had been hired to organize. That detail matters because if true, it means Mina was doing exactly what she was known for. She may have been thinking about decorations. She may have been calculating time. She may have been planning how to satisfy a client. What she likely did not expect was that someone may have already been waiting. What happened next has left many people shaking. According to sources, while Mina was moving along that road, a group of men reportedly known to be assassins blocked her path. There was no public argument, no long confrontation, no warning anyone could clearly point to. And before she could fully understand what was happening, the attackers reportedly opened fire. Not one shot, not 2, but 6 gunshots. That detail has hit people hard because when someone is shot that many times in a close and targeted attack, many people immediately believe one thing: the killers wanted to make sure she did not survive. Reports say she was shot 6 times to confirm she had stopped breathing, to make sure there was no chance of survival, to leave no room for rescue, to leave no room for luck, to leave no room for a miracle. But the time help could possibly come. The damage was already said to be severe, and just like that, a woman who had spent her time building events, managing people, and growing a business was suddenly gone. The scene, according to the way it has been described, was horrifying, shocking, cold, and deeply intentional. This was not described like a robbery. This was not described like a stray bullet. This was not described like a random street fight. Everything about it points many observers towards one disturbing conclusion. Mina Orukpabo may have been specifically marked for death. Now I want you to listen good. Let us be careful and professional here. At this stage, unless authorities officially confirm motive and suspect, everything must be treated as allegation, theory, and investigation. But even with that caution, people close to this case are already asking hard questions. Why? Because the manner of the attack raises serious suspicion. Think about it. A woman moving for work at a known location at a specific time, blocked by armed men, shot multiple times and left with no chance. That does not sound careless. To me, that sounds planned. That sounds like someone may have known where she was going, roughly what time she would be there, and how to strike before she could escape. And if that is true, then the real danger may not have started on that road. The real danger may have started long before that night, maybe in a business disagreement, maybe in a personal betrayal, maybe in a hidden conflict nobody around her fully understood. Because in many targeted killings, the gunshots are only the final chapter. The real story usually begins much earlier. Now, this is where the case becomes more painful, because whenever a person is killed in a way that looks this deliberate, people naturally begin to ask, who did she offend? And to be fair, there are usually two sides to such a question. Possibly one, she may have wronged someone deeply. Let us be honest, being cheerful in public does not always mean life is simple in private. A person can be loved by many and still have a serious conflict with one dangerous person. In business, money can change relationships quickly. An event planning business often involves client payment, borrowed equipment, vendor agreement, staff management, contracts, cancellations, deadlines, and sometimes broken promises. I hope you are aware of this. If there was a serious disagreement over money, or a failed deal, or a contract someone felt cheated in, that could create anger. Not ordinary anger, but the kind of anger that grows in silence. Could it be that Mina have unknowingly stepped on the wrong toes? Could there have been a bitter dispute over payment? Could someone have felt embarrassed, exposed, or disrespected by her in business? Could there have been a hidden fallout with someone she trusted? Right now, there is no official proof publicly confirming any of that, but these are the kinds of questions investigators usually have to ask, because sometimes a smiling public image can hide private enemies. Possibly too, she may have been targeted out of jealousy or rivalry. Now let us look at the other side, and this side is just as possible. Mina was said to be good at what she did. Very good. She had built a company. She had workers under her. She had clients. She had visibility. She had reputation. And in industries built on attention, image, and competition, success can attract dangerous envy. Some people even went as far as to clap for you in public but hate you in private. Some people smile at your progress but secretly want your downfall. A rival may not always fight openly. Sometimes they watch, sometimes they wait, sometimes they gather information, and sometimes, in the worst cases, they act in ways nobody expects. Could another person in the same line of work have seen her as a threat? Could a rejected lover, bitter associate, or hidden enemy have mixed personal anger with business envy? Could someone close to her have shared her movement that night? Again, these are not accusations. These are only possible angles that make sense in a case that already appears deeply targeted, because 6 bullets is not normal hatred. 6 bullets suggest something deeper, something personal, something determined. There is another chilling question people may be asking. Was Mina lured? Remember, reports say she may have been going to an event center to either rent something or collect borrowed instrument for a job. If that detail is accurate, then it opens another possible line of concern. Was that movement genuinely routine, or was someone aware of it and used it against her? As of now, one truth remains impossible to ignore. Mina Orukpabo was killed in a way that strongly appears intentional. A hardworking event planner, a woman described as jovial, a woman said to be talented in her business, shot 6 times on the road in Port Harcourt on the 9th of March 2026, and until investigators uncover the full truth, the question will continue. Was it business? Was it jealousy? Was it revenge? Was it betrayal? Was it someone she trusted? Or was it someone who simply could not stand seeing her rise? For now, all of that remains part of an ongoing mystery. But one thing is certain: whoever carried out this act and whoever may have sent them turned one ordinary walk movement into a night of bloodshed and permanent silence. And if this truly was an assassination, then somewhere out there, someone knows exactly why Mina Orukpabo was marked. The only question is, will justice find them before the case goes cold?
I want you back in my life, where you belong.
And I want you to go straight to hell where you belong.
Any meeting una wan hold wey consent to show my pepper, even if na 3 a.m. una wake me.